Yes guys, welcome from me, Championship Manager 0102, the three-man epic game. Okay, first things first, I have restored this as a solo game for the benefit of using different software from where I normally play my game, hence that you can see change player. So I've deliberately waited a period of time before I did an update as to where we are. So then when I go onto the league table in a moment, you're not going to be able to see anything. You're not going to be able to work it out what happened at the end of season 117. Yes, guys, 117 long seasons. Where do we start? I'll tell you where we'll start with, right? We'll start with the international side of things, shall we? So I'm the manager of Germany. We're all in line to qualify for the Euro 2132. We're all doing that quite convincingly. But for Germany, which is my nation, as you can see, I won the Confederations Cup. And to be fair, I did it in quite good circumstances. Only just in the final. But my biggest result in the Confederations was definitely Spain. As you can see, look at that. That was fucking crazy. I have changed my formation a little bit with the national side. I've moved the two forwards to inside wingers. I'm only testing it, if I'm honest with you, and I thought I'd test it with Germany. So yeah, we went on to win it. So really pleased with that. As far as the guys are concerned, I think we've all had another international for our European qualifying campaign. Holland, yeah, they look devastating. 5 wins, 1 draw, and of course Ian's Italy, they look in ruthless. We're all on 5. Yeah, it all looks like we're all on 5 then, because my Germany, I think I drew a game, didn't I, at some point? Sure, I drew a game. Yeah, I drew a game. I think it was Iceland, I want to say. It was Iceland. Okay, so that's where we're at then. We'll all qualify for Euro 32. Let's talk about the moment in hand here. Season 117, last season. Well, where do we start? Pep Southampton. Pep won. Fuck all. He finished 3rd in the table yet again. And he got knocked out of the Champions League to Ian in the semi-final. It all went Pete Tong for Pep once again. So a lot of rebuilding at Pep. Now you can see what date we're on. We're on the 8th of August. We've just finished the Confederations, because I had the afternoon game, which was a final, and Pep has an evening game, which is a Champions League qualifier. And it was a good way to save after 4 hours or so yesterday afternoon. I think we went from about like 5:30 to 9:30 to get through all the boring shit, like the pre-season, the internationals, and of course the 2 long-ass updates mid-June. And of course the updates are taking longer and longer because the game is getting bigger and bigger in terms of file size-wise. So I know you're waiting for me to say who's won a title, and I keep fucking stalling it. Okay, so where do we start? Shall I just really go into it? Ian won it, the fucking wanker. Ian won it from me. Won it with a few games to spare, and there was no recovery really with a few games to go. So to be fair to Ian, 4 on the bounce. He is gunning for 5 on the bounce to try and equal the record that I set with Spurs of 5 in a row. There you see, 2108 through to 2112. But I think what's more impressive about Ian, 12 titles in the last 14 years. That is quite fucking substantial. You know, you've got to give credit where it is due. Okay, let's go to the Champions League. Now, the Champions League turned out to be me and Ian in the final, and it went to yeah, Ian took it. He won it, deservedly so. So he won it to prevent me having a hat-trick of Champions Leagues. I mean, if I'm honest with you, I was chasing something with the Champions League. I was chasing 5 in a row. That's to equal Ian's record that he's got from 21-21 through to 21-25, where he got 5 in a row. That is what I was chasing, but that's gone tits up. So Ian claimed the Champions League. Let's go to, I may have covered this on the last one, I can't remember, the League Cup. Ian beat me in the final. So it was me and Ian in the final. Ian retained the League Cup. So Ian beat me in the League Cup, Ian beat me in the Champions League. Do you want to take a guess who was in the final of the FA Cup? Yes, it was me and Ian, and it went to me. Whee! 8 in a row. So If the truth be told, the fact that I won the FA Cup for an 8th time in a row, and that record is extending, which is going to be even harder for anyone to beat, realistically means I probably won't leave Chelsea, because whilst there's a chance that I can make that 9 in a row, I ain't got any plans to leave Chelsea. So 8 in a row for me. But you see what I mean about Pep. It was a season from hell. It really was. He won absolutely fuck all. That FA Cup, actually, let me just go to that FA Cup. We'll start with the FA Cup first. So I won that, and I remember writing to Ian saying that is fucking harsh. That was harsh. So that was the FA Cup. The Champions League, see what I mean? I really did fall apart. In all fairness, Ian was a worthy winner of everything. He was on the brink of the quad. The League Cup final, let's take a look at the League Cup final, wherever that is. Thought he absolutely fucking destroyed me. I mean, a little bit more closer in stats. So, I mean, that was an interesting one. Oh, my days. So I landed Pep in the FA Cup semi-final. This was probably where my downward slide came. I mean, I had a man sent off, and I was lucky to really come away. As you can clearly see, I was very lucky to go through to the final. So Pep was a bit unlucky there. Pep was also unlucky in the Champions League. I mean, he lost the first leg to Ian 2-1. No, I got that wrong, sorry. Got that totally wrong, I apologise. He won the first leg 2-1. Gave himself a little bit of hope. He actually outplayed him. The second leg, though, it just fell apart. He lost 3-0, and subsequently, it was a red card that cost him there. I mean, when he went 1-0 down, he was losing on away goals. But Pep needs to do something special. He's brought a couple of players here and there this season. He beat me and Ian to a couple players that really me and Ian weren't too fussed. In all fairness, no disrespect to Pep, they weren't world beaters. Pep did buy a couple of players off myself. No, a couple. I thought it was more than one, but it must have been just the one player. So they're Pep's signings. Ian, the champions. He's brought some really good player. Now, I picked up on this Montenegrin player. I think he's a fucking monster. Not sure his best place where to play, because he's got a great crossing ability there, and his finishing's only 14. So be interesting to see where Ian plays him if he does. He's brought this Japanese player as well. I'd question him a little bit, but at the end of the day, who am I to question someone that's just won everything? And he brought this Dutch goalkeeper. Now, talking of goalkeepers, let's go to me. With regards to goalkeepers, I really fucked up. Firstly, I repurchased my Mexican goalkeeper. I had to beat Ian to him, and there was a lot of pissing about getting him. The board kept cancelling it. Eventually, I picked him up for 50 million, 25 million, and then 25 million when he plays a game. So the board didn't cancel that. But let me show you this guy here, right? No, sorry, that was my Senegal centre half. I brought a youngster, but I brought a player, and I really fucked up on him. Jake Doherty. I thought to myself, looks a decent goalkeeper. Can you see what my fuck up was? You look at him thinking, he's a goalkeeper. Mike, his fucking reflexes is 6. Now, for one reason or another, I thought he had a 20 on reflexes. And you can see why I thought that. I don't quite know what possessed me to make such an error. And I just thought he had 20 handling, 20 reflexes. He had a good auto value. So I paid £21 million for him. Realised that his reflexes were 6. And I hadn't brought my Mexican goalkeeper at that point. So I got Jake Doherty and I thought, I'm happy I can't get the Mexican goalkeeper. I'll fuck him off. And then I realised he had a reflexes of 6. Excuse me. I then managed to get the Mexican goalkeeper because I tried again. And then I decided to fuck him off because he won't make it. My main goalkeepers are very, very strong. No doubt about that. They're all sort of, I don't know if anyone uses a player comparison feature, but they're all sort of quite balanced goalkeepers. They're all quite world class. I actually retained my goalkeeper that broke in last season. I'm saying broke in because my goalkeepers were having shocking seasons. They were averaging out at like 7-0 and under. Then Tommaso Russo came in, had a couple of games and did really well. As you can see, you could argue why don't I let him stay in, but I've got to be realistic. Now, I really did fuck something up. And you can see what my fuck up would be. I changed my training schedule, and I changed it before, and I only worked it out before the save yesterday. No, it was a day before the save actually, because I realised that everyone was underfit, and I'm like, we got the Charity Shield in a few days' time. So one day, a load of them regained 100% because I put them in no training. So you can see my Neymar region there, Ferreira de Oliveira, ain't going to make it. 34% he's not going to be fit. I don't know, he might. I don't know if it makes any difference. I'm looking at maybe changing my formation with my from my Tyson Fury, because at the end of the day, I've not won the title in 2 years. No? What am I talking about? 4 years. Since my title triumph, I didn't have the title. I didn't have that setup when I won the title last. So a couple of options is what I've got going for Germany, which is that. Which is that. The other option I've got, I think I might have gone to this towards the back in the last season, was something like that, using more forwards. Another option I was contemplating was nothing too extravagant, was something like that. I mean, I even tried a few things like this, keeping these without the arrows. I was trying everything, and you know, if you look at my the end of last season, my performances were really starting to really didn't really come through. And I mean, you see, I drew with Derby, I drew with Watford, and it was really game over. It really was. But you know what? Ian's going to be gunning for the title this season. I know that for a fact. I'm gunning for the title, and I'm also that's to compromise Ian's 5th title attempt in a row. I'm also gunning for the FA Cup, no doubt about that. Pep, I had a joke with Pep yesterday. I says, so a little interview, Pep. This was whilst we were going through the update. I says, what's the objective for St Mary's this season? And in a jokey sense, the little cunt says, is to encourage the Man United manager to emigrate and to get the Chelsea manager sacked. The fucking prick. I think for Pep, he needs to break into the top 2, in my opinion. When you look that he's not been in the top 2 for 9 seasons, he's really got to get his arse in gear. So that is where we're at then. Season 117 done and dusted. And as we now look at season 118, and of course a European Championships year, let me remind you, this year will also see us have the World Club Cup. Now, if history repeats itself, which it has done on several times over the last 117 years, it tends to derail whoever's in it, to derail their title attempt. So Ian's in it because he won the Champions League. He'll also, of course, be in the Super Cup, and that's where we're at. So until next time, guys, take it easy from me.